Hey guys, this is Alex, Turbonetic777, and oh my gosh, it has been a long time coming for this. It's been so long since I've made a video for you guys, and I'm so excited to be here making just a quick update video, kind of let you guys know I'm alive. I think the last time that I recorded was when the pandemic first started, when this mess all started back in March, the beginning of March, I think, and so I was checking in and, wanted to see how you guys were doing and let you guys know how I'm doing and how my family and I, we've made it so far. Thankfully, I've been safe. My family's been safe. And we've just been trying to just, lean on God and just take it a day at a time. That's all we can do, right? So it's it's been kind of crazy. I was laid off from work temporarily, though. I knew that, in case you guys didn't know or you forgot, I work in a dental office. I'm a dental clinician, and so I work in the mouth with patients. And when the pandemic first started, things were extremely just nuts. First and foremost, it was scary. We didn't know, of course, being in dentistry, we are at the top of the list of hazardous and potentially being contaminated because, again, we are working with the mouth, the source of how this virus is getting spread, which is saliva. And so we are up there. I think at one point there was an article that said, we're like at number one and two with doctors, the ER and whatnot. But as far as, because we're working in the mouth. And so it was very crazy. It was very intense. And then we couldn't get any PPE, protective equipment. So we couldn't get masks. We couldn't get, we couldn't get gloves. We couldn't get anything because they were prioritizing in hospitals, which it makes sense. And so we ended up having to close the office. My doctors closed the office for 3 months. And that's scary. 3 months. And so I was unemployed for 3 months. And so it was tough. It was tough and it was scary. Just not knowing. But yeah, we just, through prayer and, everything else, we made it through. And so we closed in the beginning of March. And then we opened June the 1st was the first time opening. And let me tell you guys, it was the first time ever in my life, as in my working life, that I had been off for 3 months. And granted, I had always worked. Even when I started working when I was in high school, I worked through high school, I worked through college, and of course I work as an adult life. And so, that's always just how it's been, My dad taught my siblings and I that, you can't get something for nothing. And so he taught us to always work for what we wanted. And so we did. And so even while, like I said, high school, and they expected us to have good grades. And sometimes, I tell my kids two of my children are in high school, believe it or not, are in high school. And my youngest is almost in middle school. And so, I tell them that, my parents expected us to have straight A's and still work, and we did. And so that's just, that work ethic was still there. So it was kind of, at first, to me, it was kind of exciting to be off, but not undermining. So please don't take this wrong. Not undermining what was going on and why we couldn't work, which was the pandemic and the fact that there was, thousands of people losing their lives. So please do not take that out of context. I'm the type of person that I always try to look at the good in something to help me get through whatever it is I'm trying to get through. Okay. So please understand that about me. So don't take that the wrong way. Don't be like, oh my God, he just didn't want to work, or people are dying and he's thinking about vacation. No. This was no way of vacation. But I always look at what's good, and I feel that God wanted things to just stop. And not just for me, for everybody. I feel that he sometimes we need to go back to basics. And if you really think about it, right now most kids in households are being raised by electronics. I am blessed to say that my wife stays home and she's able to be with the kids when I'm at work. When they're able to, at the time, go to school, come back, and then mom is there with meals and stuff. We're very traditional, and it's just worked out that way for me, for my family. Um, but nowadays it's just not a lot of people have that, that comfort, and not a lot of people can. There's a lot of single parents out there, which, God bless you. My sister is a single parent of teenage boys, and I know I can see how hard it is for her. And let me add to that fact that she works 2 part-time jobs and is a college student because she went back to school, and I'm so proud of her. And I can see how hard it is. And so sometimes, I feel like it's easier to, just let things slide. And God sometimes has to pull our chains back. And I just feel like he had to go back to basics, which means, not worry about anything but staying home with family. Okay. And I think he had to make something like the pandemic happen to kind of make us stay put and go back to basic and realize that he's God. And we need to, reverend ourselves to him, not to money, not to work, not to electronics, so forth and so on. And I'm not preaching, I'm just giving you my opinion. And so when I was off for 3 months, initially I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. I'm going to be off for 3 months and whatnot. And I was with the family and we did so much. We enjoyed every bit of the time together. But, I'm the type of person that I need to do stuff. I need to keep my mind stimulated to a certain extent. And so my job at home was I was a gym teacher. I was a lunch man. And I was also the teacher's assistant because my wife was a teacher. And so we kept busy that way, kept my mind stimulated as well as the kids. But, I missed doing what I did. And so, when it was time to go back, at the same time, I was also faced with insecurities, uncertainties, and fear. Fear of, oh my God, because let me tell you what, in dentistry, you can see the selfishness of people at times. People, and I get it, you have an appointment, you set this appointment, and life happens. And sometimes you don't want to cancel your appointment because you have other things. But I've had patients who've had the flu and still want to come in to get their teeth cleaned or get worked on their mouth, even though they had the flu. And they'll sit there and say, oh yeah, I had a fever yesterday, but today I didn't. Okay, and so we're going to turn them away. And they get very angry. And so I start thinking to myself, oh my God, how about if somebody is asymptomatic and they want to come in and get their teeth cleaned? Or how about if, they had COVID and they didn't get tested again to make sure they're negative and they want to come in? Because again, people were wanting to come in, not caring. There were patients that were, and still are, very cautious and kind of only come in if they really, really must have. But there's other patients that they want to come in and just do the whole gamut, whitening and everything, cosmetic stuff, just because. And so it's a little nerve-wracking. It's getting better now, though, I have to say. It's getting better, and we're moving along, and, things are going good. But, the times were uncertain. Now, as far as the DS and the way I dealt, it's funny because I learned 2 things, and not really learned 2 things, but confirmed 2 things about the DS. Number 1, you can gain weight. During the height of the pandemic and the worst of it, I wouldn't leave the house. And so, as you all know, I'm a half marathon runner, and so I run all the time. And I had, right before the pandemic started, I joined the gym and became a gym rat. And so when I say gym rat, y'all, I would work out every single day on top of running, but my schedule was go to the gym at 3 in the morning. I would run for an hour, do weights for another hour, go to work 12 hours, go home, eat, sleep, and do it all again every day. And then in the weekends, I would still get up early and spend more time in the gym. And then the rest of the day, kind of take it easier, do my errands and whatnot. And so the gym's closed. I can't work out, so I just stayed in the house. And when you work out that hard, let me tell you, your body is gonna ask for all that fuel because it's burning fuel. And so it's obvious I can't get fat because I am constantly, I would burn 1,500 calories just about every day. Yes, and this is no exaggeration. And I was able to get down to 145 pounds, okay? Mind you, my starting weight in the beginning, which I always did my introduction, and I did not, but in the beginning, I was almost 400 pounds, and then I had the duodenal switch back in June 17th, 2016, and there goes my journey. And so, I got into running, I love running. I love it, which is insane because I never in my life thought I was able to run. But now that I can, I love it. I enjoy it. In fact, I already this morning ran 10 miles. And so, which is hence the vest. But I had another vest, but it was missing, so it was wet. So I just threw that one off, threw this one on because after this, I'm going to just refresh myself. And so... so I wasn't able to go to the gym. I wasn't running. I just didn't feel comfortable going out there, and I just stayed in. But my body kept asking for the fuel because your muscles are still burning stuff, okay? And eventually what will happen is that your muscles will, continue to ask for nourishment. Your body's asking for nourishment, and so you're going to want to eat how you were eating when you were working out so hard. And y'all, I gained 12 pounds. 12 pounds! Oh my goodness. I had not stepped into this on the scale. And yeah, 12 pounds. 12 pounds. So yeah, I confirmed that yes, you can gain weight with the DS. Granted, that was 3 months of me not doing a lick of thing. Not a thing, okay? I got into speed skating towards the end of the 3 months. I bought some speed skates, and I started doing that, and the weight started to come off. But, speed skating is hard. And I have the scars on my feet from the blisters as I was breaking the skates in to prove it. But it's fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's good. And I would skate 12 miles. I have this little app on my phone that keeps track of the miles, and so I would do 6, 8, and 12 depending on when I would go, because I try to sync it. Because then on top of that, I started finally to run again. I felt comfortable enough. Now, let me put this in perspective for you. I follow, because I am a half marathon runner, I follow a very strict training program when I'm training for a race. And when I train, I don't mess around, and I get up at 3 in the morning. I stretch, and usually by about 3:30, I go outside to run. Okay, and I prefer outside running over treadmills. I don't own a treadmill in my house, but in the gym, I would do the treadmill, but I prefer outside because the treadmill is an assist per se. So it kind of pushes you forward and it helps you stay in that kind of forward motion. Where outside, your body does the entire work. And so you get more of a workout. your core. See all this? This is not from weights. This is from running. So that's what that is. I mean, look at it. This is all running. Okay, I don't lift weights, and so I started to run outside, and because my gym was still closed at the time, and then I started back on 3 in the morning, getting up and running, and then going to work, and so that's what I do. I run every day except Mondays because in the schedule, Mondays is the rest day, and then I run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays cross training, which I usually still run, or I do speed skating, and then Saturdays is the long run, and then Sunday, you run again, and then now as far as mileage, it depends on where you are in the training, because I'm at the end. Saturdays are extremely long runs. Saturdays will always be considered your long runs, but at the end I'm at week 8, and so they're getting very long. And so what I plan to do, I don't have a race coming up or anything. I'm just doing this training, and I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but for fun, health purposes. And so once I do the half marathon, I'm gonna run the actual half marathon, and then I'm gonna go backwards. And then once I go to the week 1, which is the easiest, then I'm gonna go back down again, and I'm gonna do that again. And so hopefully, by the time a race comes, y'all, I swear I'm probably gonna be running Olympic time sub miles. Right now, my fastest mile that I have on record is 7 minutes and 12 seconds for a mile, which, y'all, that's fast. And I have it on record in my app. So yes, so I'm doing extremely well. And this goes with what, see, I start to ramble. So I discovered that you can gain weight, but, well, not discovered, but confirmed. But I also confirmed that if you go back to basics on the DS and stick to it and do what you need to do along with workout, it melts off because I'm back to weight, okay? Now, when I was at 145, that was at my low. Right now, I'm at I think it's 155. Yes. I didn't weigh myself this morning or anything. I think I weighed myself 2 days ago, and it was 155, and so it's coming off. I've already lost, I think it's 12 pounds. The whole 12 pounds that I lost, because right in the beginning of the pandemic, I was, I believe, 155, 154, or 153, 150 something in the lows. And I'm on 155, and so I was up to 167 when I started June the 1st. I weighed myself just to see, because I didn't weigh myself because I knew and I didn't want to get depressed. So I said, let me weigh myself just to see, and it was 167. And so, yes. And so if you go back to basics, and if you as far, and when I say back to basic, is high protein, low carbs, low sugar. And then you kind of follow the schedule, like in the beginning of surgery, how, you drink a lot of water every 15 minutes, sip, 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 and all that stuff. It really kind of helps you get back on track. And the DS will do its thing, because the DS doesn't change. It really doesn't. But I found myself, the problem with me and why I gained weight was because my kids are home. Still, they will be home for a whole year because now we're homeschooling them. We don't feel comfortable sending them to school, and so the option was to keep them homeschooled into the fall, into the spring, or do all year. And my wife and I, we prayed about it, and we decided all year homeschool. So the kids are at home, and so we always have to buy snacks and stuff for them to eat. And if I see the snacks for the kids, I'm daddy. I'm gonna eat it. And so I was eating bad, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Sugar. I was eating chips, carbs. I was eating just bad stuff. And of course, on top of that, not working out. So of course, it happened. And so yes, But now it's coming off, and it's coming off kind of fast. In fact, I'm having my coworkers are already, and this is how I know that it's starting to become extremely noticeable. Number one, I can see my muscle definition back. Yes, abs back, my arms back, as you guys saw. But my coworkers are like, Alex, you are losing weight. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? You know, look, you're gonna disappear in a little bit. And so, and this is big, so you can't really appreciate. But yeah, everything is coming back, and so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That, you know, if you fall off the wagon for a little bit, don't panic. Just don't let it go too long. I feel that the more you let it go, mentally, you're gonna put blocks in your head, because you're gonna feel like, oh my God, it's gonna take me forever to get back where I once was, and it's not gonna take forever. Okay, you can do it. Remember, this tool doesn't stop doing what it's designed to do. We just have to fall back into play so this tool can work properly. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And so yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy to be getting back on track. My gym did open up, but I don't feel comfortable, and so I just canceled my membership. It's Planet Fitness, and so, you know, when I feel comfortable, if I ever will feel comfortable, I'll just join back again. No big deal. And, you know, outside running in the cold doesn't bother me. Like I said, I love the cold. Here in North Carolina, we have brutal summers. So when the cold starts coming in, the coolness, I embrace it. I love it. And it's better to run in cold than in heat. It helps you breathe better. The coldness is like having ice on your muscles, per se. So the coolness kind of keeps things just feeling better. And so I love it. I love it. So I don't mind. In fact, the vest that I use to run, it's a heat vest. And so what it is, it makes you sweat. And so it's just like this. It's sleeveless, but it's very tight. And then I wear shorts. And so I'm all exposed when I run in the cold, and I don't feel it, because once you start to sweat, it's just fantastic. It feels so good, and so I love it. So, you know, working out in the winter doesn't bother me. In fact, I had joined Planet Fitness in November, and I had already been training out there. So the year before, I trained all winter outside. So running in the outside doesn't bother me in the cold. So, but anywho, I hope you guys are all doing good. As you can see, look, y'all, look at my hair. I changed it up, and, you know, I was trying to grow it out already before the pandemic. I have to say that there was a couple times during the awkward stage where I wanted to chop it off, because I couldn't do nothing. Like right now, if I wanted to, I can pull it back. I can tie it in a ponytail. I can do the man bun. I can do lots of stuff with it. But when you're in the awkward stage, you can't really do anything. And so I was so close a couple of times to cutting it off. But yeah, it's getting good. My wife likes it. My daughter loves it. In fact, my daughter, she's 14, and she's like, Daddy, I just love you with long hair. And I always mess with her, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna cut my hair. And she's like, don't do it. Don't. She says I look so cool with long hair. But I've always wanted long hair, and I've never had the chance to do it. But yeah. But anyways, I didn't want to make this such a long video, and I'm already at 24 minutes. Gosh, I hope I didn't go over the limit for YouTube. It's been a while. But anyways, I hope you all are doing well. Please stay safe. Of course, as we all know, this pandemic is far from being over. And we just need to stay safe. Wear your mask. It's not fun, okay? I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's for your own safety, okay? Just think of it like this. You know, when I'm at work, I wear a KN95 mask, and on top of that, I wear a level 3 mask over that. Then I wear a shield, and I do that for 12 hours. By the time I get out of work, my whole face is red, just so red and just irritated. And it takes a while for my skin to clear up, and then, yeah. So please, you know, just let's stay safe, let's be smart. It's not fun, I know, but it's for our own safety, for the safety of your family, your loved ones, and anyways, be safe. God bless you all. Love you guys so much, and stay safe. Bye.